let's go on now. We have Dharmesh Kant of Chola Securities joining in with some perspective on the market. Dharmesh, thanks very much for joining in. A lot of earnings have come in the last 24 hours, and market reaction is also quite interesting. If I look at, for instance, Havells, the quarter was quite bad because of their, electrical appliances business and Lloyd and the AC business being weak. But the market is choosing to move on and look at the prospects of a recovery in the second half. Your thoughts on this stock? Anything else? So many numbers, Mahanagar Gas, M&M Financial, all on screens. Anything else that really stood out for you in the last 24 hours?
Yeah, good afternoon, Survi. Thanks for having me on your show. Havells numbers were a dismal set of numbers, specifically on the electrical appliances side. And the wire and cable was the only silver lining to the space, and so has been the case with other wire and cable kind of companies, where the growth was good and the market expectation is that going forward, so it constitutes almost 35% of the total revenue. It will pull it through, and going into the festive season, even the electrical division would start performing. The only dampener has been the AC segment of the Lloyd's business, which had a slowdown of 30-35%. But net, to my mind, for all the oil and cable, companies, the problem is the input prices will definitely go up in Q2 and Q3 because copper prices are up in the international market. Almost 35% kind of appreciation has been there. So anybody who is looking into this segment just at the 15-17% kind of a growth should be mindful of that fact. Other than that, the other numbers which have been through mostly has been disappointment. To my mind, it was a disappointing set of numbers. A slowdown has been there. And the guys who have performed well, for example, Reliance Industries came out with a very strong set of numbers. But traders chose to book profit out there. But I think it's a very good buy at current levels, given the SOTP-based kind of a valuation based on 2 years kind of a perspective. Ours is around 1650 to 1700 kind of a per share price target. It will get re-rated or revised as and when the clean energy visibility comes through in a type of profitability which is there. PSU banks, I would like to highlight here, if you compare them on like-to-like basis as compared to private sector banks, there has been an asset quality improvement in all the PSU banks numbers they have reported. And one significant factor which has been a diverging factor is that the retail business of all the PSU banks have shown a very good growth, be it Bank of Maharashtra, Union Bank, UCO Bank, or Indian Overseas Bank, as compared to your private sector peers who have shown a slowdown in the retail advances growth. Though the stock prices are correcting in today's market scenario, but I think this is a good time to do some cherry picking out there in the PSU basket space. And there, to our mind, I think Bank of Baroda and Bank of India looks pretty good to us.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.